Hey there, Ribbon fans. Welcome to this week's edition of Trudel's Take, brought to you by Help Alliance. Back out again for another edition of Trudel's Take. I'm Jason Rupp, joined once again by Riverman head coach Jean-Guy Trudel. Guy, another perfect 3-3 weekend, this time on the road, to start off your 10-game road stand with 3 straight wins away from Carver Arena. How does that feel, and how does that set the table going forward on this road stand?
Well, a lot of great learning things. That's what we talked about before this week that we wanted to accomplish. We wanted to get on the road and understand that nothing's going to be perfect. We got to fight through different adversities, and we did. We had a tough one to start in Quad City. I thought we played a great first, and in the second we kind of lost an edge a little bit, and then after that we got back in the third and brought it home the way we won. I think that's what I take the most out of this weekend. 2 times out of 3 in the third period, we close score, we had to bring it home, and I thought we played our best periods were the third period, and not necessarily offensively, but just as a whole, we were really connected in the third in Quad City, really connected in the third in Vermilion, and that's what you want to see in a group. You want to see guys that don't panic in pressure situations, bring it home the right way, and I thought we played just great. I think we gave 2 shots in Vermilion, and against Quad City, I didn't think they touch a puck much in that third period, so I'm really happy with the boys for that.
Right, because it is in the third period that games, especially playoff games, are won or lost in the third period.
Actually, you're absolutely right, and that's where you want to see, like GM said it best, I think, like your training, what we do structure-wise in practice, you want to see it come out in the third without panic. Because I always say in the third, for some reason, teams just kind of rev it up a little bit. So the forecheck is a little faster, the neutral zone forecheck, and just when you're put in stress situation, different athletes react differently. And for us, we just reacted perfectly, no stress. Broke out the puck pretty easily, and just kind of the boys were all dialed in. And the bench was fun. They were confident, so that's what you want to see as a coach.
Now, speaking of adversity, the Rivermen did face a little bit of that, especially on Sunday afternoon, early evening. Rivermen trailed for the first time all weekend after giving up 2 quick goals, a little over 30 seconds apart. We've talked a lot about it this season, where you like to give your players a chance to settle themselves down and not have to step in and use that timeout. The Rivermen did just that on Sunday. They settled themselves down. You didn't have to use that timeout. How much growth did you see in that group in that moment?
We did, and for a coach, it's always it's a hard situation because sometimes you see the ship going north a little bit, sometimes you see it going south, and when you see it's going south, you want to do something to help the boys. But like I told you, I heard from Phil Jackson a lot of time. He wanted those Bulls to make sure that they take each other together, and just leadership comes through and do what you have to do to get back on track. And after that goal, I thought about it, and I was going to give it a few more shifts, and I think the next shift after that, we just took over the game, and from that point on, I thought we played I think we only gave 7 or 8 shots after that point on. So we played a very good game after that, and that's what you want to see. You want to see a leadership to take over, and we talked about it as a team. We are at the point in the season, the coaching is pretty much done as it comes to the type of culture you want. Now it's up to them. It's their team. Sometimes those hard situations are going to come up. You have to deal with it and do something about it, and they did. They just played a great second and third period there in Vermilion.
How impactful was the leadership on this group, or how much was it on display, not only on Sunday, but also on Saturday when Alec Hageman had to deal with that 1-game suspension? Obviously, your captain taken out, next man up mentality. Leadership seemingly stepped up. How kind of step did they take? Oh,
big time. I think GM is probably the one that took the big step in that game. He came up and he had full of life that Saturday and took over the game. I think he had 3 points, but not just that. He was just killing penalties, just doing all the right things for the team with the right attitude. And that's what we talked about. I mean, Hags was gone. A few guys stepped up, did what they had to do, and we played a pretty solid game. I didn't think offensively we did a lot, but it's hard when you have a 4-0 lead. It's kind of human nature to kind of slow down a bit. And we did what we had to do. To only gave up 23 shots. Levy thought it was probably one of his simplest game of the year. There's no bodies in front. We took care of the rebound. So we did what we had to do. And again, that's like you said. I always say you try to surround yourself with as many leaders as you can because leaders make leaders. Mm-hmm. It's great. And I read that from a coach I admire. And he talks about the leadership tree, and you have your workers, which are phenomenal. They can do a phenomenal job, but usually those workers don't create leaders. It's leaders that create leaders. So you try to surround yourself, and I think we have a lot on this team, and I'm lucky for that.
Wasn't John Cooper, was it?
No, it wasn't. It's actually a coach in Quebec that he actually did coach Tampa, coach Ottawa, and he's a guy I listen to a lot, and I love his perspective on coaching and life, and he does a good job. Guy Boucher, his name is, and he doesn't know me, but I like to listen to everything he say. I think it makes a lot of sense. And, as a coach, we call ourselves the best robbers in the world. You just steal ideas here and there, and you put it, the ideas that you think would work good in your culture, you put it in, and that's what I did with a few things that he says.
Switching gears over to the defense, I think they've really grown and come to their own, not just this past week or even the past month, but the last couple of months. You look back in December and January and just how that group has grown, not only in terms of really their play on the ice, but also their leadership too. Talk a little bit about the leadership of that group and how much they've grown in that department.
I think I think they get together more now. They have a lot of pride in everything they do, and I like I told you, I think we have the right personnel in a lot of situations. So I think it becomes like a pride thing. When our PK steps on the ice, we know pretty much the the 8 guys that are going to be killing a lot. And they have pride when our power plays jump on. Same thing when we play 5-on-5. I think our decor, the way we get off the offensive zone blue line, we have pride in gapping up in their face. And I think when you do that, you build confidence. When you win, you build confidence. And I think it's just right now we're at the point in our season where it's a snowball in the positive way. Everything is just snowballing. We're winning a lot of games. D's are playing well, and that's what you want to keep continue because momentum is everything in sports. When you have it, you don't want to let it go, and for that you have to work even harder. I always say if you just work the same, you're going to lose it at some point.
Right.
Bad habits are going to creep in, so we just got to keep working and making sure we put even more effort in building that confidence and being confident in every single situation that a game can bring to you.
The Rivermen have won 15 of their last 17 contests, and like you said, they have that momentum, but the dark side of momentum is complacency. How do you keep this group, a lot of young guys and veterans as well, but how do you keep this group from getting complacent down the stretch?
This one I took from a book that I read and it made a lot of sense. The book Legacy was talking about as soon as you're having a lot of success, change everything. Because if you just keep having the same success with the same things you do, people read on it, you get complacent. And when you go downhill, when you hit the wall hard. So we're at that point right now that we're changing some structure, changing different things, learning new things, trying different things. And if we do lose a few games because of it, so be it. We don't want our players to get complacent and just happy being the team. We want to expand. We want to get better every single day. And I'm lucky that I have a group that are okay with that. They buy in. Whatever we try next, they're going to buy in and they're going to do their best at it. It might work, it might not work, but that's the way. After reading that, it made a lot of sense to me, and that's what I try to do every single year. As soon as we start winning quite a bit, you change a lot of our structure to make him good in another part, and then you use that part against different teams, and then by the end, when the playoffs start, you kind of have a plan what works against what team, and then you're set for the playoffs.
Well, one of those changes, the big news coming out today, is Jack Barry's triumphant return to the Peoria Rivermen. How much will his presence help reinforce the goaltending position, taking nothing away from Eric Levine? 18 starts, he's gotten 18 victories on the year, but having Jack Barry back there, a very capable goaltender in his own right after his second stint in the ECHL, how much will that help not only the position but team morale as well?
Oh, it does. I mean, Jack's just not only a great goalie but a very good teammate. But first off, we're losing Joe. Joe was here for 2 months and loved the kid. And I know he didn't get to play a lot of games, but he was just a phenomenal teammate and a phenomenal person. So that was hard this morning. Those are the bad parts of coaching. But then Jack, on the bright side, we get Jack back. And, my plan this year was having Eric and Jack here in Peoria, and we have the duo back. And I think just like Joe and Eric, Jack and Eric have a great relationship, so they push each other, to be the best every single day. And we're getting a guy that, played at high levels of hockey and knows how to play hockey. And I'm happy he got to play in the ECHL, but now he's back and he's fully committed to the team. So we're extremely excited. Like I said, the hard part was this morning saying bye to Joe.
Certainly.
But then big smile on my face when I saw Jack come in the room because it's been a while and we love the kid. What do you think this goaltending tandem, Jack Barry and Eric Levine, could be, if not is it,
the best goaltending tandem in the league so far?
Well, yeah, I think if you ask any coach, they always think their goaltending duo is the best.
Fair point.
But I truly believe it. I love both of them, and I think Jack had like a .950 save percentage before leaving here, and I think Eric is going to be good for him because as much as Eric wants every single game, we're getting to a point 2 months before a season. You're getting kind of close to making a goalie play 3-3 all the time. It's a lot of work, and I think I trust both goalies to take any game right now. Like I'm going to put a schedule now. When I learned about Jack yesterday, I changed the schedule, and now I'm going to put a schedule together to make sure that both are very confident and very healthy heading to playoffs there in 2 months.
Absolutely, because you never know what can happen with the playoffs, as the 2013 Blackhawks showed back in the day.
Correct. You never know, and that's what, as a coach, that's why you always build back up, and your two goaltenders are key. And you see it now even in the NHL. Like, nobody plays more than 50 games. You have your backup's going to play 25, 30 games every single year. So both guys are not only fresh, but both guys are also very confident, because you only get confidence by playing in games. I don't care what practice. You try to build as the best practice possible, but it's not the same thing. You're not going to have that type of traffic. You're not that leaning on you. So I think both goalies need to be confident, and that's what we're going to do the rest of the year. We're going to make sure we get a good plan and surround them with the right things to have a lot of success.
Well, a lot of snow coming this week, and the Rivermen coming on the road this weekend as well to Vermilion County on Friday, and then 2 more against Quad City on Saturday, Sunday. Guy, before we let you go, obviously, snowy day. A lot of folks maybe working from home today and possibly even tomorrow. So I want to get your opinion here. You get to watch 3 hockey movies over the course of the day. What are your 3 recommended hockey movies to our fans here?
You got to tell me these questions before you ask them. You're putting me on the spot.
That's the point.
1, Miracle.
Miracle. Okay, Miracle number 1.
Herb Brooks. Oh, just a good movie.
Kurt Russell's performance, top notch.
It's crazy how good it is, and that's 1. 2, 18 and over. You got to go with Slapshot.
Okay.
You just say, for parents out there, not kids, but for parents out there, you got to go with Slapshot for sure. 3, that's a tough one. I got a few I love. I love The Goon. I laughed.
The Goon.
The
All
Goon
right, you're
was
going to go
awesome.
with The Goon?
I got Mystery Alaska. I loved.
That'd be my number 3,
yeah,
to be honest with you.
I love Mystery Alaska. Goon just makes me laugh. I love that actor, William Scott or whatever his name is, and he just made me laugh. I know it's about fighting, but it's just a funny movie and a good old story. And then Mystery Alaska, I love it because it reminds me where I lived in Quebec, in Cadillac, Quebec. Right. It's same thing, 25-foot snowbanks and just ice everywhere. So there's a lot of great movies, but for sure Miracle, if you want an inspiring movie, that's just the one to go. That's a go-to one.
So just to recap, Guy's 3 hockey recommendations for you in terms of hockey movies: Miracle, Slapshot, and Goon. My personal 3, kind of piggybacking off that: Miracle, Slapshot, Mystery Alaska. Oh, I think almost one there.
Yeah, even I love Mystery Alaska.
Oh yeah,
I love it too. I just saw it so many times. I think.
Yeah,
fair
point.
Yeah,
fair enough. I think I read an interview one time that Russell Crowe said it was one of his most favorite movies that he ever partook in.
I'm sure it was spectacular to film. I mean, like because what you miss the most as a player is that camaraderie, like the locker room. And as a coach also, I miss those playing days, and that's why they say even after I retired, 3-4 years after that, I still felt I could play. I think because I wanted to be in a locker room again with players and having, a blast with your buddies. So I'm sure during that filming, they were all the boys together all the time having a blast, So it's got to be fun filming a movie like that. So I don't blame him. And, Russell Crowe, he owns a few rugby teams and stuff like that. So he's a sports guy. Yeah. So I'm sure he had a blast. But I loved all those movies. It just, there's some quotes that just reminds you of your locker room sometimes, and it just makes me laugh. So I think those would be the 3 movies. I know Goon, again, is more for older people, but it's just funny. I just think it's funny.
There's something about it that just gets you going. I prefer Mystery Alaska to Goon, but again, that's my own personal opinion. There's your movie recommendations. Guy, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Rafa. Appreciate it, buddy.